What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Linear Geography. In this video, we're going to take a look at Alaska Document A response from our DBQ. Should the United States drill for oil in Alaska's wilderness? And in this document, we're taking a look at a map up here. So you are combining some of the map skills you learned earlier in the year to help you answer these questions. Question 1. What is the name of the human settlement on the north coast of the Refuge? So taking a look right here, this area right here is your Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. And if you look in the mini map up here, it kind of points to where it's at. Even though on this map it's darkened and in Canada over here is also darkened, this spot right there is actually the refuge, not this part of Canada as well. It's right there in Alaska. And then you also see the Alaska pipeline right here, this little dotted line going across. That is your pipeline. So, what is the name of the human settlement on the north coast of the refuge? That northern area right up here is going to be Kaktovik. So as we take a look at, it's a tough word to say, but that is the settlement located in the north of the refuge. Question 2. At the coast, how far is the western edge of the refuge from the Alaska pipeline? Now, as we take a look, we have our scale up here at the top. Now, this is a little tough if you don't have this printed out or you're not using a ruler to measure, but basically what they're looking at is looking at the pipeline and kind of measuring it across the National Refuge. And if I were to measure this out, it'd be somewhere around 60 to 80 miles. Gives you a little idea of just how far that is. Sometimes it's tough to look at the map and see the actual distance from the pipeline to the refuge, but that makes it a little bit easier in terms of putting your mind at how far 60 to 80 miles would be. Question 3. Why do you think there are no highways through the park? Highways would disrupt the natural condition of the park through noise pollution, vehicle pollution, and visual pollution. Also, creating a highway requires clearing the land for paving. So when you think about it, highways, yes, they make life much easier. You can travel fast over vast areas of countries and land. However, there are some drawbacks to that as well. And if they were to put some highways in here, a lot of the wildlife, the actual land, the animals, people that are there to see the wildlife, a lot of those would take a hit. It would become a very, have more of a negative connotation for the actual refuge. Question 4. From the map, guess at least 5 animals that you think live in the park. Hint. What animals live in cold water, mountains, and northern forest? These are just some examples. You may have found some other ones as well, but here's just a short list for you guys. Polar bears, grizzly bears, caribou, bald eagles, salmon, moose, elk, pheasants, seals, puffins, coyotes, hares, and musk ox. Sorry about that. And as you go through, and you can see that's where a lot of this wildlife would live. So obviously, like we talked about in the background essay, there's Bruto Bay right there. That was talked about in that first background essay. There's that pipeline. When talking about drilling for oil in the United States and in Alaska, this is a lot of where the drilling would take place. And this is how close it is to a refuge. So you can obviously see some people on the argument for would talk about the positive effects of drilling for the oil. Maybe somebody that's against it would look at the national wildlife refuge that's located here in Alaska as well. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys as you are working on your questions.